Let me first say thanks to our audio-video department, Bill and Adam, and thank you, Mr. Producer, Sick Rick. What's up, Smitty? And we got a new guest host this morning, Amber.
Amber, you look adorable.
You as always.
Thank you.
You sleeping over there, Smitty?
I'm just kind of waking up a little
Wake
bit.
the hell up, then.
All right, don't get me started because we'll start. All right.
Go ahead.
Get your knife and your scissors ready because here we go.
I got them right here.
I know you do. All right. Well, I'd like to thank the sponsors that we've had: D Squared Construction, Summer Jade Boat Detailing, and of course our title sponsor, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security. Securing your world.
Very nice. It's almost like you've done that before.
That's a jingle. I love it.
Well, I tell you what, I wanted to jump right in. You know, one of the big topics this week was President Obama came out in support of gay marriage. It must be a first time for him.
He's a very progressive thinker.
He must be. I think he said that he's kind of evolved on the subject. I don't know how you evolve on it, but I guess you think one way and then you think another way, and that's kind of how the liberals spin it. They've evolved.
That's evolve when you go from one section to another. That's what evolve is, correct?
Well, I tell you what.
Going too fast.
I was able to find something from your favorite site.
Which one?
It was
Pelosi.com.
No, it wasn't Wikipedia. It wasn't Wikipedia.
I know you like Nancy Pelosi so much.
But I guess some folks smarter than us, they did a little bit of research, and they found a few instances, and it's hard to believe with this president. I mean, really hard to believe.
Really?
That he's actually changed his position.
Like Romney does? Wow.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Of course not.
But he's actually changed his position a couple times on gay marriage.
A politician changing his position. I am stunned that you found that amazing.
Well, the difference is with the left, as long as they tell you repeatedly, especially on air, what their position is, whether they change it or not, their sheep will just believe it.
So what's about the gay thing?
All right, here we go. Windy
thing.
City Times article from 1996. 96, that's a while ago. Do the math. No, you don't do the math.
I don't do math. No.
All right. In which Obama, then a candidate for the Illinois State Senate, affirmed his unequivocal support for gay marriage. He says, and I quote, "I favor legalizing same-sex marriages and would fight efforts to prohibit such marriages." Now, that was in an interview with the newspaper. Now, curiously, by 1998, that's 2 years later, Obama's favor had turned lukewarm on the issue. During yet another election cycle, he answered that his position on the issue was undecided. So
see, he's starting to evolve right there.
He was evolving, yes.
He's evolving.
So I think he was going from I support gay marriage
to maybe.
I'm not
so much hot
sure.
on it. No.
Now, jump ahead, 2004.
Okay.
Yet another election year, Obama took a more middle ground route as he publicly supported domestic partnerships.
I thought you were going to say domestic violence.
He supported domestic violence,
Wow.
but he's evolved from that.
What would you say?
He'll do a beer summit with you.
No, he will.
And he supported civil unions. Okay. He also took the opportunity to say that, unlike his statement in 1998, he did not support gay marriage. So between 98 and 2004, now he does not support gay marriage. So good. So he's evolved. That's great.
That's great. Did you say civil or Sybil?
Yeah, it's Sybil Shepherd.
Civil unit. I was in a civil unit once.
Well, I know you were in the union. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that another day.
Okay.
And this was his quote: "I'm a fierce supporter of domestic partnership and civil union laws. I am not a supporter of gay marriage, as it has been thrown about primarily just as a strategic issue." What a hypocrite!
He evolved. In other words, did you hear what he said?
Well, let's continue forward.
Okay.
Okay, with his new Marxist campaign slogan, "Forward." All right, here he goes again. "I am not in favor of gay marriage," Obama said. "But when you start playing around with constitutions just to prohibit somebody who cares about another person, it just seems to me that's not what America's about." Now, he's also said this, as Fox News notes, "I believe that marriage is the union between a man and a woman."
I do too.
Now, for me, as a Christian, he says. Well, so I guess he's a Christian. You've told me that you think he's a Christian.
He said that he was raised, everybody knows the whole controversial thing when he was in Indonesia, and he was raised in a school that was primarily Muslim. And but he said that as he became an adult and reached the age of responsibility, he changed over, and he goes to
To a Christian
to a
church?
Christian church. I mean, you have
Is
to
that, is
you
that
have
that,
to take his
the
word
Jer-
at it.
is
You
that the
can't say you're a
Jeremiah,
liar.
Is that the Jeremiah Wright Church, the Black Liberation
I
Theology?
don't think he goes to that one anymore. I think he evolved from that one too.
He did evolve, didn't he?
He did
He
evolve.
is an evolver.
He's an
That should be the
evolver.
new camp. I'm the evolver.
I'll be the evolver.
The evolver in chief.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger in a
wait,
movie, the
let's
evolver.
let's continue on. I got a couple more where
Okay.
he's still evolving.
He's
Okay,
evolved.
he hasn't gotten here, but he's still evolving.
Okay.
All right, in 2010.
Let's get to the gay thing. We got what
Look,
you're
bitch,
trying
be
to
quiet.
say. I mean, you're
Settle
trying
down
to
over there.
say that he changed his mind. Just
Listen,
say
in
it.
2010, after already assuming the White House, okay,
Yeah.
Obama began to set the groundwork, it seems, for an evolution. There you go, evolve on the issue. Only at no point did he mention the 96 endorsement he purportedly gave same-sex unions.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, while discussing the issue, he acted as though he had always held a position against gay marriage. Well, let's skip forward yet again. This was one of his quotes. I've been to this point unwilling to sign on to same-sex marriage, primarily because of my understandings of the traditional definitions of marriage, he said. But I also think you're right that attitudes evolve, including mine. Then on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, 2012, 6 months before the 2012 election, the president changed his tune again. And I quote, "I've been going through an evolution on this issue," the president told ABC News on Wednesday. "At a certain point, I've just concluded that for me personally, it's important for me to go ahead and affirm that I think same-sex couples should be able to get married." Man, this guy has more flip-flops than all the folks in Suncoast and Crime Manor put together. What do you think about that?
Well, he obviously.
I know that's your boy.
No, I don't like everything that the gentleman has done, and he's still my president, and I'll still support him. But,
Amber, I know you got an opinion on this.
of
one.
course she does.
You
Do
got-
you support gay rights?
I'm torn on that. I don't
Well,
think it should be.
that's where he was. He was torn.
He was
and-
never torn.
Oh,
he
okay. He
pandered
was
to
never
his
torn.
constituents, and that's why he evolved, just like the Christian thing.
You think it was? You mean
so
you think
you're
it was political?
So you're
I think
you're a
it was
fence
politi-
walker. You don't really have a decision. You
no,
just
I have
okay.
an
Well,
opinion. If
are you?
listen,
well,
I'll tell you what
well,
my
let me hear you.
opinion
He
is.
doesn't listen.
No, that's my line.
No,
That's my line. Is you don't listen.
his
Don't steal
headphones-
it.
Typical liberal.
His headphones only go one way. They block out sound.
I believe
This is
that.
coming from you, the Nazi Party. Go ahead.
Oh, I think the left was the Nazi Party. Would you agree, Amber?
I don't see a swastika on you, so I think we're cool today.
Got the sweet Ledge Radio Show shirt on, though.
Do
Thanks,
you
thanks to
support gay
Smitty.
rights or not? Marriage, union.
What?
I do support
You just
gay civil unions. I
Better
do.
answer.
I think that if the Christians, I think we need to come in the middle here, and I think if the right wants to conserve the word marriage for a man and a woman, I think that needs to be given to them. But then again, I don't think that we need to take away rights from the gays and lesbians, so the community, and the base is growing larger and larger. So the Republicans need to acknowledge that at some point.
Well, speaking of, what do we have?
No, if anybody wants to call in here.
Okay,
You know.
277-9600 or 775-9600. Anybody's got an opinion on this?
Absolutely.
I've
Give us
got
a call.
Now, I got something. Speaking of Christian and his church and all that, Obama's gay marriage decision is getting blowback from his own religious advisor, not Jeremiah Wright, because he's got a religious advisor he uses in public. The evangelical pastor who President Barack Obama calls his spiritual advisor says he's disappointed in the president's decision to endorse same-sex marriage. The Reverend Joel Hunter of Florida told the AP that Obama called him before ABC News broadcast to tell him about the announcement on Wednesday. Hunter says he told the president he disagreed with his interpretation of what the Bible says about marriage. Hunter says the president reassured him, though, he would protect the religious freedom of churches who oppose gay marriage. And I think this goes back to, there was a story out about a week and a half ago. There was a church, I think it was in Missouri. It was a town or some type of a local law that they were trying to pass. And that's fine if it's local, I guess. You can choose not to live there if you don't want to. Where they were looking to require preachers at churches, require churches that if someone wanted to get married in their church and they were gay, that they had to allow it. Now, that to me violates the complete separation of church and state. Would you agree? What do you think?
I guess they can kick people out of their restaurants. I guess they can kick them out of their churches if they want. I mean, it's up to.
But now you got a state try. I mean, I guess that'll probably be
you're
overturned.
starting to mix a state and
yeah, I'm sure that would be overturned.
You're starting to mix the two, religion and state right now, and so it's starting to get a real fuzzy gray area.
And that's
All right.
a private institution too. So I don't think-
We got a caller over there, Rick?
Yeah,
All right,
take a
caller.
caller.
You're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Don't jump unless you're a socialist. What you got?
Nice.
I just want to talk about the gay marriage thing.
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, just sounds like who cares?
I hear you.
Why are we worrying about this?
I hear you, man.
It's just ridiculous that we have so many other important things that we need to tackle, accomplish, take a look at, and we're talking about gay marriage for the last 3 days.
Well, and that's
I just don't get it.
That's a great point, caller. That's a great point. And I think it's actually a strategic move, and I appreciate the call, caller. It's a strategic move that some have said that the Obama administration uses, because if you've noticed over the last several weeks, Obama will come up with, or his administration comes up with, these little sideshows, this being one of them. Kind of detracts from the fact that
he's not. It's your side keeps bringing it up.
Wrong.
You opened the whole show with about a gay thing. I could care less too.
Joe Biden comes out and steps all over himself. Tells the world that Obama supports gay marriage. It was too soon because Obama got PO'd at him. So Obama has to come out and announce it on ABC. Makes a big production about it. Knows that the news media is going to go into a frenzy. He's got to have this because his economic policy sucks so bad that this detracts from that. Maybe gives him another week that he can breathe and come up with some other new sideshow to woo the American people into believing something else.
I kind of believe, like that caller said, there's so many big problems that everybody wants to jump on this thing about him saying that about the gays or what. Who cares? We've got a million other fires to put out.
I completely agree.
I mean, personally, I'm not for it. Personally, I think that it's between a man and a woman. But I guess the long-term goal is once you approve it, once somebody says, okay, we're going to give you a certified, honored license to be married and you're a gay man or gay woman, then it opens up a whole different avenue because then they can go and apply for stuff. They can adopt children. They can, you know what I mean? It becomes long-term issues at that point. And I don't know why the heck they just can't be happy with just having a civil union and going, hey, if you're gay and you like this guy or girl, whatever, that's your shtick. Go for it. But you don't have to keep pushing it on us. That's the big deal.
It is
that's
kind of
the big deal.
That is kind of the way it looks like they're pushing it on us.
And I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what they want. I mean, how bad do they want to prove that they're gay? We got it. You're gay. You don't have to have a super duper license to say we're gay and we're married.
Absolutely.
I like that. Hey. Sick Rick, I've got some audio queued up from Nancy Pelosi. I want to play. It's just something that came up the other day. She was asked a direct question by. Kind of seemed like a planted question, but she speaks a little bit about her Catholic religion and how it relates to gay marriage. Go ahead, Slick.
I should be like you. How long do we have to hear this shit?
Just many of the people that are opposed to gay marriage cite their religion as the reason why they're opposed. But you're a Catholic that supports gay marriage. Do you believe that religion and the idea that you can support gay marriage should be separated? And how do you grapple with the idea that you support gay marriage as a Catholic?
My religion compels me, and I love it for it, to be against discrimination of any kind in our country. And I consider this a form of discrimination. I think it's unconstitutional on top of that. So I think that yesterday was a great day for America, because the president, in a very personal as well as presidential way, made history, and hopefully this will bring people together on the issue. It's a matter of time. It's all about time. And on these issues, what is inevitable to some of us is inconceivable to others. And what we want to do is shorten the difference between the inevitable and the inconceivable. And I think the president went a long way in doing that yesterday.
That's good. That's good, Rick. Cut it off, buddy. So there you go. I mean, basically, she's using the Catholic religion to say that if they don't support gay marriage, that it violates the Constitution. I don't remember reading any of that in the Constitution. I've read it a couple times. Do you remember seeing anything in the Constitution that requires that we give gay people marriage licenses?
I actually wonder what her religion says about insider trading.
Very, very good.
That's not in the Bible either.
No,
I got news
that
for
wasn't
you.
in the Constitution either, and yet that's still.
Well, as we're heading off this topic, this is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Give us a call, 277 or 775-9600. There was a poll done. I guess they do these polls every once in a while, not the poll from Lookers, but a different poll. Mm-hmm. This is where the American people stand on legalizing gay marriage, and it's quite surprising. 2 years ago, when they did the same poll, 53% of those polled, it almost sounds like they're giving a class on something. I don't know. 53% supported gay marriage.
Do they have a theme? Do the gay people have a theme?
Well, I'm thinking
Maybe YMCA.
I'm just wondering. First of all, do you think that would represent the entire country, or maybe they polled a group in San Francisco?
That's probably the whole.
You think 50?
I
well,
think
now it's down, at least in this poll, to 50%. So
it's half the
we've
people.
got half the people at least polled in this study.
But it's state by state. There's like 37 states that have ratified something that says they do not allow.
They've already voted on
They've
the
already voted
Constitution,
on
yeah.
Well,
Right.
that's what was funny when Obama came out with this. The day prior, North Carolina actually voted
down.
Do you know why that's
down,
so obscured? Is because you got that off the right wing website. It's not real information.
Well, actually, I mean,
got off a blog.
To me, I mean, it's 50%. Well, let's take a caller.
Let's take a
caller.
caller.
You're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
You're on, my brother.
Well, I think if you look up the definition of marriage in a printed version, it's at least 10 years old, you'll find that it's a union between a man and a woman. Now, why does any special one group want to change the definition of a word?
I agree. What do you think? What do you think, caller? What's your opinion on it?
They can have a civil union. I think that
agree
way
with you.
it's no discrimination, but marriage is between a man and a woman.
Are you a homophobic?
No.
You sure? You never looked at another guy ever?
If let me ask you a question, caller. If you were getting a massage by a guy,
would he turn you on?
No. Would it move? Would it make you move if you touched?
Would it make you kind of wonder a little bit, like, wait, man, it's feeling pretty good, or what?
No.
What if he was a hot-looking guy? Like Sven from Sweden.
I'm sorry. I like women.
Good for you, buddy.
What if it was a
I'm
woman
you.
with a mustache?
Hey,
okay. So what if she had one eye?
Apple.
Thanks, caller.
That's a whole different topic now, isn't it?
Hey, man. Hey, have a great day. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for calling.
Well, I think that when you look at this as a whole, and Amber mentioned this earlier, the civil union I think was a good idea to give everybody the right to. Like Obama used the example, you can't get into the hospital to see a relative,
right?
If they're under surgery,
that's
that
crazy.
gives them that right.
Right. Absolutely.
But why does a group, any group, need to force upon us? And I guess we're not the majority anymore. According to this poll, we're just half of the country. But why do they need to force upon us to change the way the definition of marriage?
I don't know, but like I said, it opens up other avenues with, like you just said, health insurance. If you're a gay man or woman, you're living with somebody, then you can say, oh, she or he's my partner, and then they reap the rewards and the profits and all the stuff that comes.
Speaking of profits, right before we go to break, I got something real quick.
Okay, real quick.
Okay, so here's something. The Obama campaign is now selling baby onesies that are made in support of same-sex marriage. I mean, good capitalist idea coming from a socialist. But 2 days after President Obama declared his support for same-sex marriage, his re-election campaign seems to be hoping to capitalize, that's like capitalism, on the announcement
you love the capitalism,
with the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender.
So now you're against capitalism.
For Obama merchandise line on its website. You can, some of the items available for purchase are, in quotes, my two dads support Obama, baby onesies for $20.
He's thinking out of the box.
And my two moms support Obama.
I think it's a fantastic idea. That's some great campaign money right there. There could never be in question about supporting anybody's baby mama.
You were the first one that would be.
Just
wait. You would be the first one to say, "I'm all about capitalism." Now the guy thinks out of the box, and now you're not again.
No, I said it's a great capitalist idea. All right,
better than the other idea with the silhouette.
Let's go to break and make some money here. We'll be right back.
Bubba the Love Sponge mornings. Zito and Garrett middays. Stan and Haney afternoons. Lex and Terry nights. 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com. Talk that rocks.
If you're a boat enthusiast, then you know just how much fun boating can be. Whether you're fishing in the Gulf or just taking in the beautiful sights that can only be seen from a boat, there's nothing quite like it. Boat owners also know that it takes time to maintain that boat. So when it comes to cleaning, detailing, and restoration, Summer Jade is on board for you. Summer Jade specializes in full-service detailing. They also offer teak restoration restoration, underwater hull cleaning, and hull painting. It doesn't matter if you have a small boat or a large yacht. They do the job with quality results. Summer Jade is family owned and operated, serving Lee County and the surrounding areas. And best of all, their rates can't be beat. Call today and ask for Eric. He has some great promotional rates, some as low as $11 per foot.
I'm Eric Naylor, the owner of Summer Jade. Our rates are unbeatable. Call me at 239-878-6947. That's 878-6947. In Florida, it's summer every day.
And the boating is easy.
When it comes to finding a reliable general contractor, you need to pick someone with a solid background and a good reputation. D Squared Construction gives you all that and more. They are family owned and operated and stand behind every project. Quality workmanship and satisfaction to the customer has made them one of the premier contractors in Southwest Florida since 2004. Small residential renovations to large commercial projects, they do it all, and they do it all well. Your projects are much too important to trust just anyone. D Squared Construction will come to your house or commercial project and give you a free on-site estimate. Call Cav & Dwyer at 239-561-4108. That's 239-561-4108. for a free consultation and some good sound advice. They won't waste your time or your money. D Squared Construction, when it needs to get done right.
Hey there, Sarah. You better wipe that smile off your face. People will wonder what you've been doing.
If they only knew my secret.
Well, tell me what your secret is. I love a good secret.
Well, my husband surprised me yesterday by taking me to the Health and Harmony Center. I got a full-body Swedish massage and picked up a few other items just for me.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It was better than awesome. It was the most relaxing 1 hour that I've experienced in a long, long time and well overdue. At the Health and Harmony Center, they offer massage, yoga, acupuncture, natural medicines, fitness classes, workshops, and more. I can't wait to go back. It was certainly better than a card and flowers.
Call the Health and Harmony Center now for more details and ask about their 1 hour Swedish massage special for only $65 now through April the 14th. Put a smile on someone's face. Call 239-433-5995. That's 239-433-5995. Or stop by at 15951 McGregor Avenue.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Call now, 277 or 775-9600. Check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com. Or you can hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Smitty, I know you got one more thing on the gay thing because you just can't get it out of your mind.
No, I just think that if they want to get married, they should, I guess, allowed to get married because they can be as miserable as everybody else. I love a married couple.
Well, I tell you what, though. I think.
Because if I had to be miserable for all the last times I was married, I think they should be married just as long and be just as miserable.
Good point. Good point.
They'll probably drop the subject after they actually experience.
Yeah.
I wonder what the divorce rate is among gay couples or civil unions or whatever they call it.
It just started though, didn't it? So
no, they've been doing this stuff in secrecy since the Roman times, I'm sure. Well,
secret marriage,
secret something, secret Santa. Well, this kind of segues from Obama's onesies from his campaign. That to me that was a little.
Go ahead.
Low ball.
Just go for it.
Speaking of gay, low ball.
Go ahead. It's funny.
But in the same vein of capitalism, you hear about the guy that's got the Trayvon Martin gun range targets reportedly sold online.
That is just absurd.
Man, that's bad, huh?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, he was thinking out of the box. He certainly had capitalism. He sold out. He sold out in like 2 days. Right. I don't know how much he made or how much he charged for it.
I mean, it's terrible, but did you see what the silhouette looks like?
It has Skittles and everything.
It says the shooting range targets wears a hoodie, carries a bottle of iced tea, with crosshairs lie over the chest, just above the bag of Skittles that peek out of his pocket.
It just shows a lot about our society, really.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
No doubt. Well, I wonder if this guy was a Democrat or Republican.
I'm sure he was a Republican.
You think?
He's probably the marching member of the KKK.
Whoever he is, call into the show and tell us what you're
I don't think he was local. I mean, he could be anywhere in the country because the whole incident went viral. So
that's craziness.
Well,
There's no sensitivity at all. We
got a caller. Yeah, caller. You're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Yeah, hi. It's in regards to the gay marriage.
Absolutely.
I feel in this country, I think we've evolved. I mean, as far as
like Obama.
Well,
I mean, he flip-flopped like 67 times in 10 years.
Don't let him rail you. You speak your mind, hon. Go ahead.
Well, I feel that at one time blacks and whites couldn't get married, blacks couldn't vote, women couldn't vote. We've evolved. It's taken time, and I think that if a guy can go to Iraq or a woman and take a bullet for me, if they want to come back and have the same rights as I do and as we enjoy, I don't see how that affects somebody else's marriage. How does that affect your marriage if they want to get married or they want the same civil rights? I don't understand. I thought the conservatives were all about, personal freedoms and personal liberties. So, I mean, how does that affect someone else's marriage
I
if they
appreciate.
want the same rights?
I understand where you're coming from, caller. Thanks a lot. And I think it's not so much that it's going to affect my marriage, or Smitty's marriage.
I don't have marriage.
Yeah, well, there you go. He doesn't even have marriage. It's the fact that they're attempting to change the definition of marriage, and for people that hold marriage, sacred between a man and a woman that were married in a church based on the Christian Bible. I mean, that's the issue. That's the issue with conservatives. Most conservatives feel that way. I don't think they have a problem if folks. I mean, some conservatives that are really, really, really deeply involved in the church, they're against the whole idea of any of it, gay included, because it does call it out in the Bible as blasphemy, and that's what the Bible says about it.
I don't know why the gay people just can't be happy with the civil union license or certificate. I mean, what's the difference?
Well, I don't know if every state allows it.
Right, it's going to be state by state, obviously.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, that's and when it goes back to the caller brought up a good point.
Amber was talking about the Blue Cross and Blue Shield, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, Blue Cross a couple of years ago actually started where partners can actually file for insurance as long as they show proof of like residency together.
Okay.
So, and then of course the adoption thing has been going on.
See, they evolved.
Well,
they evolved.
Yeah, well,
Blue Cross and Blue
but
Shield
with evolved, and before we take this next caller, I want to go back to what the last caller said. She mentioned that at one time blacks couldn't vote, women couldn't vote, and we've evolved. Those things were helped America along. It didn't erode the Christian values that this country was started on.
Good point.
I mean that's the main difference. So let's try to.
We just haven't evolved yet.
Unless this caller's got something for the last topic, let's take the caller. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Hi, my name is JoJo. I'm calling from Naples, Florida. How are you doing?
JoJo, is this JoJo? Is this your friend Amber?
This is JoJo.
Hey JoJo, how are you, man? Thanks for calling in, buddy. Thanks for getting up so early.
Exactly. I had a good night last night.
Oh.
I'm calling about the marriage situation because I've been listening to the subject for a couple of days now. And
Sure.
the ironic thing is that marriage, you keep talking about the Bible and religion and so forth. Marriage was never designed for the Bible and religion. It was designed for two landowners or two villages, but they were arranged. I think people need to do the history of where marriage came from before they start speaking out loud about the word marriage and religion, because that's not actually how it began.
Well, I appreciate your perspective on that, and that's something that I think we'll all look into. And I mean, I'm guessing you've got a different take on it than say Smitty and I might have.
Oh, I totally do. I'm totally for gay marriage. I think the last caller said everything I wanted to say. I think it's ironic that in this country we can die for our country, we can go take a bullet for our country, we can vote and pay taxes for our country, but we can't have the same rights as every American citizen has for this country. I mean, it's not just for that. It's for land, taxes, medical. There's a lot of things that go along with marriage that you're privy to that gays and lesbians are not. And I think that people need to look at the fact that we're Americans for Americans. Again, African Americans couldn't vote, women couldn't vote.
Sure.
It's against the law to be married if you were black or white and together. And as we evolve, she's right. The Constitution has changed and evolved.
Well,
I'll tell you
JoJo
something.
Yeah, go ahead, Smitty.
Hey, JoJo, let me ask you a quick question.
Sure.
I can only assume that you're a gay man, and if in fact somebody issues you a certificate, without the license per se, and calls it a union certificate,
and if that gives them the same rights,
what's the difference? I mean, you've got your point. You've made your point. You've got what you wanted. You wanted a recognized civil union, and it's like that's still not good enough. You know what I mean?
Well, let's say somebody gave you a license because you were, let's say, Asian in America, and then they gave somebody else a license because they were black, and then they gave somebody else a different license because they were Chinese. It's still licensed, but it's identified as different. The point of making
We're talking about marriage, though, not ethnicity.
Same thing. You shouldn't have. We want the word marriage because that's what we are. We're in love. We're married, and there's no different. I remember there's a case where husband and his wife was in a coma, and the husband wanted to pull the plug. I don't know if you remember that case or not.
Marie Sharbo.
Because they were married, the husband had the right to actually, pull the plug, even though the parents contested it. Just because they were married, he had the right to make the decision for his wife's life. As a gay man, we cannot do that. We can go to the hospital and there can be situations with medical and so forth, and that contract that you want civil union can be contested because marriage is a whole stronger contract.
But what if the civil union actually incorporated
Allows
allows all those things? I mean, you've been my best friend for 10 years, and you and I disagree on this all the time.
Because I think you're saying marriage as a religious standpoint. Again, open the dictionary and define marriage, or find out actually. Go and look at the history of marriage. History of marriage was never done for religion. It was done for people to. In fact, they were arranged. The history of marriage was an arranged situation.
Well,
money,
Joe, when you say the history of marriage, I mean, marriage licenses were actually, my understanding is, were started because the state or the local municipality said, you know what, we can actually make money on this license. We're going to charge people for this. But when you go back to the Bible, that's 2,000 years old. Back before a lot of this stuff came up. I mean, that's when a preacher in a church gives you your wedding vows, he's reading right out of the Bible. So that's old stuff, man. That predates marriage licenses.
Called before Christ, and that's the reason I say before Christ, because before Christ things happened as well.
That's true.
Marriage is before that. So I'm saying that, and again, if you're a religious person, set that aside. I'm speaking as only facts and literal. If you look at the history of marriage, set religion aside. History of marriage was never meant. In fact, love was like the third or fourth or fifth thing down the list. It was for a union of two villages or two groups. It was a union for two families to get together. It was a union for money. It was a union for so many different things. And love was kind of a little down the line there. Or they didn't know each other at all, and they were just put together. It's still practiced in India and certain other countries around the world. So, I mean, I just think it's kind of funny that people who are talking about gay marriages should really focus on maybe, in fact, let me go in this direction. If you build a house and it has a foundation, correct?
Right.
The foundation is weak.
It's built on sand instead of on solid rock.
Probably built by Mexicans. Go ahead.
More than 60% of marriages failed. The foundation for heterosexual marriages is failing, but you want to support that and back it up. But your marriages are failing. I think heterosexuals should focus on saving their own marriages before they kind of vote that other people can't get married. Focus on that issue. That's my thing. I think it's ironic that in this country we're focused on the word gay marriages, and I kind of wonder if it's because people who love each other can't love each other and follow what every other American should have, or is it something kind of biased towards maybe sexuality? And that's my concern.
Well, I appreciate your call. Yeah, I appreciate that, Bud. And I'm going to do some more research on it. But I think regardless of the way Smitty or I feel, or certain Americans feel, the American people during this poll, 50% of Americans support it. So whether we like it or not, it's probably going to be heading that way. We've got another caller. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got? Caller, are you there?
Hey, JD.
Yes, sir.
Cindy, just shouting out. Great show, man.
Hey, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. Take care out there.
Hey, as for Smitty, F you.
I know who this is, man. Take care. Take care, bud.
You guys have a good one.
All right, man. Later.
Say later, loser.
We got another caller. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you. That's not me, man.
Lord Almighty, Mary St. James, John Matthew, Luke Paul.
Tomorrow.
Can I get a brother? Come on, man.
What you got for us, caller? That's it. Caller's gone. I guess he just wanted to praise God.
The first marriage was recorded was back in 2350 BC.
Check you out. You did some research on Wikipedia, didn't you?
That's way down there, man.
Well, I tell you what.
JoJo's right. It was about hunter-gatherers. It was back in the day. So,
JoJo's right then. I'll do some research on that, too.
It sounds like he's been looking it up. When you get mad with your partner, do you sleep on the sofa or does he?
There you go. This is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Phone lines, if you want to call in, are 277 or 775-9600. Got something I want to delve into real quick. Did you guys hear about the new book that came out where Bill Clinton thought Obama was an amateur and urged Hillary to quit and run in 2012?
I love this.
Yeah,
this is great
unreal,
for conservatives.
Huh?
This is awesome. This is putting a crack into the left liberal
base.
Well,
he called him an amateur, and that's what the explosive new book from Edward Klein says Bill Clinton called Obama last summer. In fact, Clinton allegedly believed it so much that he urged his wife, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, to quit her job and challenge Obama for president in 2012. In the book, similarly titled The Amateur, Klein quotes conversations Clinton apparently had with his wife. In quotes, Barack Obama, Bill said, according to the book excerpts obtained by New York Post, is an amateur. The economy's a mess. It's dead flat. America has lost its AAA rating. You know better than Obama does, Bill told Hillary in another excerpt. The country needs you. What do you think about that, man?
You guys get off the right wing blog again and stop, trying to dredge up old stuff.
This
I would have liked.
This isn't old stuff. This is something Bill Clinton just said about Obama right before 2012.
You would have liked Hillary to run?
No.
I am just the opposite. I would have preferred her over Obama any day.
There's my girl.
And I will tell you, I'm from Arkansas, so I know the
She's...
Clintons personally. But I will say the only thing that I don't think that is true in the snippet is when she asked, "Well, what do you want? What should I do?"
She wouldn't ask him nothing, would she?
I think Ed Clyden maybe got that part wrong because I don't think she would have ever rebutted, "What should I do?"
Right. Jennifer Flowers too.
She would tell Slick Willie what to do.
Yeah, she.
Well, I don't know. I think we're coming up on a hard break here. So when we get back, we got some other top stories coming up. Callers and listeners, will be right back.
You never know what we're going to say or do. Take 96 K-Rock wherever you go with the iRadio Now app.
iRadio Now.
Available for free on all smartphones, including Android. The biggest personalities in radio entertainment. Available on one app.
iRadio Now.
The iRadio Now app for all smartphones.
Just go to the App Store and search iRadio Now. And download it for free.
Brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District, Coconut Point.
Visit 96krock.com for more information.
iRadio Now.
96 K-Rock.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small, secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
When it comes to finding a reliable general contractor, you need to pick someone with a solid background and a good reputation. D Squared Construction gives you all that and more. They are family owned and operated and stand behind every project. Quality workmanship and satisfaction to the customer has made them one of the premier contractors in Southwest Florida since 2004. Small residential renovations to large commercial projects, they do it all, and they do it all well. Your projects are much too important to trust just anyone. D Squared Construction will come to your house or commercial project and give you a free on-site estimate. Call Cav & Dwyer at 239-561-4108. That's 239-561-4108 for a free consultation and some good sound advice. They won't waste your time or your money. D Squared Construction, when it needs to get done right.
If you're a boat enthusiast, then you know just how much fun boating can be. Whether you're fishing in the Gulf or just taking in the beautiful sights that can only be seen from a boat, there's nothing quite like it. Boat owners also know that it takes time to maintain that boat. So when it comes to cleaning, detailing, and restoration, Summer Jade is on board for you. Summer Jade specializes in full-service detailing. They also offer teak restoration, underwater hull cleaning, and hull painting. It doesn't matter if you have a small boat or a large yacht. They do the job with quality results. Summer Jade is family owned and operated, serving Lee County and the surrounding areas. And best of all, their rates can't be beat. Call today and ask for Eric. He has some great promotional rates, some as low as $11 per foot.
I'm Eric Naylor, the owner of Summer Jade. Our rates are unbeatable. Call me at 239-878-6947. That's 878-6947. In Florida, it's summer every day.
And the boating is easy.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
You're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
277-9600 or 775-9600. Give us a call.
Sorry, we were talking about Revenge of the Nerds, and Amber said she was too young to remember it, but that was a great show, man. I mean, Tune In Tokyo, that was classic. I know.
Way before my time.
I know Billy in the sound room remembers Tune In Tokyo. Check out our live stream at theledgeradioshow.com and hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Shoot us some likes over there. Smitty, I know you got something for Amber.
Well, I know that she's a real big,
She's not that big. I think she's about 100 pounds, 105 pounds.
She's
slip you
big
$20 bill here
conservative,
in a
and she
second.
believes in letting everybody do anything they want to do in Wall Street. And it just happened to be in the news today.
Well, he's pigeonholed you.
Oh, I know. He's good.
That the J.P. Morgan thing went on about that. Did you hear about J.P. Morgan going belly up almost $2 billion in like 16 days or something?
They ain't
like
going
that.
belly up. $2 billion's like.
And we'll have to bail them out. Of course, they won't go. We'll have to bail them out like we had to bail everybody
that's just petty
out.
cash.
Of
I say let
course,
them fail.
of course,
That's
it's
just a
petty
slush
cash.
fund is
That's
all
a
that
slush
is,
fund.
yeah.
Sure, of course it is.
Now, wasn't Smitty? I know you and I.
So in
looked
other
at
words,
that.
what I'm getting at is the deregulation.
Well, what were you asking her?
The
What were you asking her?
the deregulation that occurred in 2008 and 2009 that crashed the country into turmoil. These guys did the same thing, the same practices, the same derivatives, everything, and it's like nobody wants to just punish them now. It's like we'll just bail them out again.
Did he say the deregulation is what caused the crash?
That's what's funny is if you would have, I'm sorry, if you would have let J.P. Morgan fail in the first place years ago, we wouldn't be revisiting this whole thing. I mean, the fact that we bailed, how many, $3 trillion we bailed out? You
It's
know,
a
just
lot.
yeah,
It's a
just
lot.
on Wall Street alone. So, I mean, the fact is, I mean, I don't think it's deregulation. The fact is it's crooked practices, it's golden parachutes, it's CEOs that are taking, severance packages for $200 million. That's the problem. It's not the deregulation.
I've heard you say that same stuff. Don't argue
I'm
about it,
not
Smitty.
arguing about it. I'm saying we should have some more rules involved with this.
We don't need more rules.
Yes, you
Right.
do.
Let
'cause
them
if you-
fail.
Because if you
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
have rules,
That's the principle of capitalism. If you screw up, you fail. But
If my business, if I screw up my business,
Right.
and no one's going to bail me out, it's going to fail.
you can live in the shed behind the house.
Then take my shed.
Take my shed, please.
Exactly. Any more on that, Amber?
No, I just.
So you just think let them fail?
I just let them fail. I mean, that's the principle of what we've been
just-
founded
That's what
on.
bankruptcy's for and everything else.
Exactly.
It's sad to think that even after all the turmoil and all the rules, they still did the same thing. That's
the
craziness.
The rules
It's
isn't gonna-
craziness.
the rules aren't going to save them from making
Right.
stupid decisions.
Right.
From giving the CEOs more money. I mean, it's a private company. Let them fail.
And the government, I don't think the government should come in either and decide on what the CEOs, what the limit is on that, because then you're cutting into capitalism and what they should do. If the company and the board members and the stockholders allow a severance package of $200 million for like United Healthcare alone, then screw them. Why are you supporting?
Agreed, 100%.
Something like that.
Speaking of, along the same lines, what else you got there, Smitty?
No, I'm just telling. I was reading what the CEO said. He said he was caused by errors, sloppiness, and bad judgment. That's what he
$2
said.
billion in bad
$2 billion
judgment.
worth, yeah.
What a caller.
Well, let's wait. I'm gonna let the caller hold for a second. We're gonna start out real quick. Just ran across something. They just did a new study. Countries with the highest income tax rates. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Now this is based on unsustainable debt, monetary inflation, uneasy markets.
Is this from your right wing thing there?
All that.
Okay.
All that. Quantitative easing, the health of the global economy is on everyone's mind. Why? Because when coupled with massive amounts of public debt, weak economies usually lead to one thing: tax hikes. A hike, however, may be too kind of a word. France's newly elected socialist Francois Hollande, or Hollandaise, maybe it's like hollandaise sauce, I don't know, wants to impose a 75% income tax on citizens earning more than $1.3 million.
Well, he said that.
That's a bit more than a hike. That's an ultra increase, I would say.
Well, back in 1945, when we got out of World War II, the tax rate was like 90% on a lot of people, and it stayed there for many, many years. And it gradually went down. Until finally we got to where we're.
So we got a Republican named Ronald Reagan that lowered it from 70% down to like 28. All right, now number 10. So the caller's gone. Okay, number 10, Ireland, highest income tax rate 48%. Okay, average income $50,400. Wow. Yeah, man. But here's one good thing for Ireland: they've got one of the lowest corporate tax rates in Europe, just 12.5%. That's not bad. I'd say if you got a company, move it to Ireland.
Over to Ireland, exactly.
No doubt. Number 9, Finland, 49.2%. They were at 53.5%, but they dropped it down to listen to this. They dropped it down to put more money into the pockets of households in order to fight the effects of inflation. You mean to tell me if you lower taxes that people will have more money? Holy crap.
I'm all about giving people more money, but the big business and corporations.
You mean the people to hire, the folks to hire people?
Let me read you a fact, okay? So you
Hang on, I'm not done yet. I got 8 more things here.
I'm sure you do.
Number 8, actually 8, 7, 6, and 5 are all tied. See, I sped it up for you. That's the United Kingdom, Japan, Belgium, Austria. Nothing real important about them. Number 3, Denmark, 55.4%. That's unreal. That's unreal. I mean, could you imagine them taking 54.5% of your income, and their average income 64 grand. Number 2, Sweden. You wouldn't expect that, would you?
I don't know what to expect from you.
56% tax rate.
What's Germany's?
Germany wasn't listed. It must be lower. Number 1.
Because they do very well.
Now, I've been to this place. I've been to this place once on a cruise. Aruba, number 1 highest tax bracket in the world.
Wow.
58.95%. They don't even have an average income because it's one of the poorest freaking countries you'll ever visit. It's a slum.
It's an island, you know.
And now this is just income tax. This isn't all the other taxes that go along with it. I mean, have you seen Aruba? It's a trash hole. Other than in the the
Sandals Resort.
Yeah, in the Sandals Resort. I mean, right downtown.
That.
As soon as you get off the beaten path, it's a slum. It looks like a slum city, typical of a Democrat-ran society.
Let me just read you this.
Go ahead. I didn't know you could read.
Yeah, I can. These are combined figures for the tax years.
You didn't add these up, did you?
It goes back from 2008, 2009, 2010. Honeywell, the profits on Honeywell were $4.9 billion. Their taxes were $34 million. Okay. FedEx, $3 billion. Their taxes were $23 million.
I would beg to differ. I would bet that the $3 billion was their total net sales.
Right.
So after you pay people to work there and buy products, then you're going to have the taxes after the fact.
During the 3 years of all the corporations below made a lot of money.
See where he gets
Yet all of them paid net taxes that were below zero for the 3 years combined. And you want to give more money to corporations that already have a ton of money. Let's just give them more. Maybe the poor guy will get some.
We're not giving them anything. It's already their money. That's the difference between us and you.
Did you just hear the tax bracket, how low it was? You're talking about low taxes. You can't get much lower.
That's the difference.
I'm paying 35%. I work for a living.
Yeah, but is it net or gross? I mean, that makes all the difference.
They don't say it.
Exactly.
It says net here.
Yeah, it's not. That's not their net profit.
Okay.
But the bottom line is.
It says net, but
the bottom line is the money's not the government's money. The money is the corporation's money.
Right.
You got to give more money to the average guy, not the top
people.
You
mean income redistribution?
You can call it what you want.
Well, that's what it is. That's socialism.
Anytime it's a social problem or social issue, you just want to shy away from it. You're like all the other right-wing Republicans that want to do the right thing. Hold on. That want to do the right thing until it costs you money.
Well, let me ask
you. As soon as it costs you money, then it's, we don't want to do that.
What tax bracket would you like to see,
We've talked about this. I told him what I think is fair, and I'm for a progressive tax.
We've already got that.
No, I mean, the tax bracket itself is... the book is 12 inches tall.
That has nothing to do with the progressive tax.
Yeah,
we're in a progressive tax.
First of all, you have to redo the whole tax.
All right, before I know that's what I'd like to see a fair tax. Sick Rick, can you play the next clip for me? This is an old interview. Milton Friedman, probably the most renowned economic mind on the planet, back in the late 70s, early 80s, in an interview with Phil Donahue.
Well, obviously, he hasn't evolved.
Check it out. Go ahead.
When you see around the globe the maldistribution of wealth,
Phil.
The desperate plight of millions of people in underdeveloped countries, when you see so few haves and so many have-nots, when you see the greed and the concentration of power within, did you ever have a moment of doubt about capitalism and whether greed's a good idea to run on?
Well, first of all, tell me, is there some society you know that doesn't run on greed? You think Russia doesn't run on greed? You think China doesn't run on greed? What is greed? Of course, none of us are greedy. It's only the other fellow who's greedy. The world runs on individuals pursuing their separate interests.
Listen to
The
Milton.
great achievements of civilization have not come from government bureaus. Einstein didn't construct his theory under order from a bureaucrat. Henry Ford didn't revolutionize the automobile industry that way. In the only cases in which the masses have escaped from the kind of grinding poverty you're talking about, the only cases in recorded history where they have had capitalism and largely free trade. If you want to know where the masses are worst off, it's exactly in the kinds of societies that depart from that. So that the record of history is absolutely crystal clear that there is no alternative way so far discovered of improving the lot of the ordinary people that can hold a candle to the productive activities that are unleashed by a free enterprise system.
But it seems to reward not virtue as much as ability to manipulate the system.
And what does reward virtue? You think the communist commissar rewards virtue?
You think it does?
You think a Hitler rewards virtue? You think, excuse me, if you'll pardon me, do you think American presidents reward virtue? Do they choose their appointees on the basis of the virtue of the people appointed or on the basis of their political clout? Is it really true that political self-interest is nobler somehow than economic self-interest? You know, I think you're taking a lot of things for granted. And just tell me where in the world you find these angels who are going to organize society for us. Well, I don't even trust you to do that.
All right, thanks, Rick. Now, the bottom line there is, Smitty, is you know, people complain about our capitalist system, but there's not a better alternative.
I think
socialism doesn't work.
Capitalism.
Did it work? Did it work for Russia? Did it work for China? You know, if you think it's better, go move over there and tell me how that works out for you.
I never said it was better. I said the capitalist system is broke.
Okay.
It has to be reformed.
Okay.
All the loopholes, all the rules.
You mean in the tax code?
Well, generally speaking.
Amber, I know you got something on this.
You got a caller. Take a
We
call.
got somebody on the line. All right, caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Hey, check this out, man.
You got it.
I don't understand why we would think that it's fair for you and myself. I don't think you. I'm not going to tell you what I make, but I don't think it's fair for me to pay.
I already know what you make.
So
It's
you know
public
what
record.
I make.
Yeah, it's public record.
Yeah, this is true. You do know. You do know. I know
Biatch.
you do. So, and you owning your own business can bury a lot of your things. I can't bury. What can I bury?
Your mother-in-law.
Why don't you go start a business? Why don't you go start a business?
I could, but I'm happy. I
Well,
love
then don't complain
what I
about me
do.
if you're happy.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, is it fair for me to make what I make and pay 30-something% tax, and then have a corporation that makes billions of dollars and pay
nothing,
a fraction of what I pay, percentage-wise?
That's what I'm saying. It's broken. The
I'm
system's
not
broken.
looking at the big dollars. I'm talking their net profit.
Well, I understand what you're saying.
I don't pay taxes on you know. After I pay my bills, what do I have left over?
All right,
I
caller.
pay taxes on what I bring in.
I hear you, brother.
We'll address
Speak on
that.
it, brother.
I have my own business, my home, my family, paying for my kids, paying for education, paying for clothes. That's all part of me running my daily life, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, caller. I'll
feel
answer
your
you. Here's the deal.
man.
You know, in my business and in Amber, in your business, I'm a small business owner.
Right.
I get a regular paycheck from my company. Now, sure, I've got certain write-offs that are privileged to me as a business owner.
Right.
But my taxes are based on my income. So if I show a salary of, say, $50,000 a year, I'm at the same tax bracket as anybody else making the same money somewhere else.
Right.
You know,
now big corporations, if you're worried about what big corporations do, make yourself into a big corporation. Don't shop there. That's what capitalism is all about. If you don't like what they got to say, if you don't like Walmart because they make a lot of money, don't shop there. That's how you can boycott them.
But you can't wrap a small business and put that in the same category as a Walmart or, Honeywell
They started
or anybody.
as a small business. Walmart started with one store.
What
with
I'm
Sam
telling you
Walton.
is you can't, just because you got a business, it's a different kind of business.
Sam Walton.
The caller that just called
And the guy who's, not to cut you
No,
off,
go
Bob,
ahead. It's fine.
but the guy who's,
He meant to cut you off.
no, I didn't mean it. The guy who's starting out and trying, he needs to break. He needs all the breaks. But Walmart and Honeywell and all these, they don't.
Oh, right, but I mean, we've all paid our dues starting a new business. I know I paid my dues, and I don't find it offensive to like FedEx or these big corporations. They've paid their dues. They take on a bigger liability, and I disagree wholeheartedly with the caller on there. I've taken on a bigger liability than you have. So therefore, if I get a tax break because I've already paid it for the last 10 years of my life, good for me because I'm doing a service, to the American people.
Yeah, and as a business owner, I'm employing people.
Exactly.
Which I think you would appreciate at this point, Smitty.
I appreciate it. All I'm saying is the tax bracket has to be reformed. It's broken.
That's fine. You know what'll fix it? Fair tax. You pay tax based on what you buy.
But you got to remember, the 95% of the taxes are paid by the top 5%.
I got a good idea. When I make $1 million dollars and trillions of dollars, and I get really, really wealthy and rich, I'll put it offshore in an account when people can't get
That's
it.
what I would do.
That would be the first thing that
Just
I
like
do.
Romney did.
Yeah,
Shoot, yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
And that's right too.
You don't
right?
think Nancy Pelosi and the left has done it? They've all
No,
done
they would
it.
have found it by by now.
They've all done
They
it.
would have found it by
Just like
now.
the legal trading that they just got in trouble for because it's legalized.
Well, we want to thank Amber for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Well, hopefully we'll get Amber again. Maybe next week if she's still in town.
Talk about your business real quick before we.
Well, I don't want to put her on a spot for that. You know, she's
Okay.
got to stay under the
All right,
radar.
under the
man.
radar. Okay.
You know,
I was
but
trying to give her a plug.
I'm going by an alias today.
Okay.
Getting hate mail.
Amber Wave.
Amber waves of grain. I
Amber
mean,
wave.
you know, the bottom
Amber
line
wave.
is, you know, we work hard as small business owners. Whether you're just, you know, actually, I do have something. I got something I got to talk about.
You got
real quick.
30 seconds. Quick, go.
Coming up Saturday, June 30th, we got the first annual charity golf tournament for South Trail Fire and Rescue, the Benevolent Association. It's a 4-person scramble. Looks like you can
hurry up.
You can call 239-433-1941 to set up the deal, and or you can email stfd16@yahoo.com. Everybody just try to support your local firefighters association.
Go to our website.
Thanks for being with us, JD and Smitty on the Les Radio
Thanks.
Show. Bye.
Bye.
Lex and Terry, 6 to 10 p.m.